Hello traders, this is Jay from daytradingsupport.net. Today is Friday, September 9th. We're looking at the crude oil market. Um, it was kind of a challenge this morning. We started off with some activity early, and right about there you can see the volume kind of picking up. So it started pushing down. Um, as it came back into the cloud, I took a trade, and I thought after it broke this area in I thought it would be a good entry, and actually it stopped me out. So down 5 ticks. It was a really tight stop. Good thing it ended up channeling back upwards. Came back. Kind of give you an idea what I was thinking. I was looking at this consolidation area, this small one right here. That was kind of a little speed bump that slowed things down. So there was some defenders. You could see some buyers coming and defending that area. So I always remember that and carry that forward into my future. So as I was looking at it, you can kind of see what I was thinking. Um, let's see here. So yeah, it came down. Um, we rejected off of this area, which was this previous area of a defense. Let's see here. So it rejected off of that, and that's why I thought we were going to continue to the downside. Of course, we didn't. It came back, stopped me out. Then it came and rejected again, but this time I was cautious. I really wanted, for me to be convinced that we were going to continue to the downside, I needed to break this area right here. So that's what we needed to break. It didn't break, it rejected. That's when I drew my trend line. Now I'm cautious to see what happens. I want to see it re-enter this area, and then either decide to reject out of it or break through it. Look, it broke through it, and then it started to create. At this point, I thought we were going to go higher, and we did, but I wasn't ready to take a trade because now I kind of drew that same consolidation um, up here because previously we had this channel. When we broke out of it, I wanted to see if we're going to come back into it and break through it. So I drew that. I pulled that drawing rectangle over to that area. It rejected off the top end of it. So now I want to see if it's going to continue to bounce around and then break out of it or break back into or reject off that area. So it created a new consolidation area, and I drew a drew a little rectangle to display that. It broke out of it slightly, and this is where you have to use caution. Uh, just a lot of manipulation in the market today, so it was really tricky. You saw huge amounts of buyers, and then you saw just regular volume, and then all of a sudden huge amounts of sellers, like very high volumes, spikes. So it was just pushing this market wherever it wanted to. At this point, I started drawing these little shelf lines of support and resistance to see which direction, because it was starting to tighten, and I knew it was going to break one way or the other. So I just needed, at this point, let me just back it up a little bit so you can see my thought process. Here, it broke out of this consolidation area. It wasn't enough of a break to convince me we were going down. I still sensed that we were going to be in a bear trap. So I thought we were going to spring back up and break through this area and take it to new highs for the day. Well, it came and it stayed in this consolidation area, and then it rejected, came down, tested this previous area just slightly. There again, it wasn't enough. It wasn't a huge breakout, and the volume was really thin. So I was not convinced. I just drew a little line there where it touched. It came back up, and at this point, if it would have broke above here, each time it did this, I had a buy or a sell, probably about 5 ticks below or above every time it made this move one way or the other. So I was ready. Oh, and I'm sorry, on the high side, I did not have a buy waiting right above this shelf. I had it up above here, this previous area of resistance. So this is where I had my buy order in case it decided to, if a whole bunch of buyers came in and took this thing higher, I would be ready with an order. And then below, I had about 5 ticks below this area, just waiting. And so it didn't take a new high. And now you can kind of see this channel forming, this bit of weakness. See that? And then you can also see a head and shoulders pattern. I guess that was a bad thing to draw. Let me try that again. Let's go. There you go. So there it is. Oops. You can see the head and shoulders. Yep, right there. Here's a shoulder. Here's a head, and here's the other shoulder. So at that point, I already noticed that. So now I'm waiting for when this came back up. Take us against the right edge. When this came back up, I was waiting to either break through the shoulder on the right, which would take us then to test this resistance, and then hopefully break through. Well, it rejected, and that's when I had my order sitting right below here, about 5 ticks below, and you can see my entry. It thundered down at that point because you could really sense the weakness swelling, and I rode that. I think it was about 13 to 15 ticks. So I rode my stop above the areas as they kept breaking down. I kept about 5 ticks behind. Actually, each range bar that formed, I kept my stop right above, 1 tick above the range bar as it kept falling down, just to lock it in because it just was so manipulative today, and I just didn't know if there was going to be any follow through. If I had a feeling there was consistency and follow through, I could have wrote a stop that was a little more loose, um, and then just taken it all the way down and not even had a target. So then it sprang back up, and look at that. Now it's testing. It's back in that consolidation area, and that's where we sit right now. So I hope that helps. We ended up with positive 5 ticks for the day, positive, well, 5 or 6 ticks, and I hope that helps. If you have any questions, contact me. Have the information posted below. Thanks.